One question that has popped up a lot on my Friday Q&A series is, what do I think about the Mooer GE200? Well, thank you to the kind soul that has lent me one of these. I put the word out on the Friday Q&A last week. We're going to check it out. And this little piece of gear, obviously, if you're watching this, you're interested in it because either you want to get into digital modeling and you want a cheap, convenient solution, you want a little practice rig with a built-in drum machine or an aux-in, which this has, or you need a backup to your main modeling rig. You might be using an Axifex, a Kemper, a Helix, one of the big boy modelers, and essentially something like this, for me, if I was looking to buy one of these, that's exactly that latter reason is the main reason why I would look at getting one of these as a backup to my main rig. I use an AX8 Live, I use an Axifex 3 in the studio, but something like this, at its price point, seems pretty hard to beat. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play some clips. I'm going to show you my favorite sounds in here. I don't want this to be an exhaustive review or demo or anything like this. This is just like, does this piece of gear work for me and what I want to do? And I mean, to be honest, what do I need? Like a chunky sound, a bit of delay, maybe some clean sounds to play a Strat with. And we'll talk about it after the clip. So there's going to be like 7 or 8 minutes of clips. Everything's kind of labeled. So grab a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy. hopefully from that clip you can tell a little bit about the functionality. There's a couple of foot switches, there's also a built-in looper in this thing, and you just turn the individual effects on and off. Let me get up nice and close there with these little soft buttons. The soft buttons kind of remind me of like an old Roland drum machine or something. Actually, the whole format reminds me of that. The screen is really easy to see. It's really easy to navigate. I didn't read the manual or anything like that. I didn't use a computer editor while doing anything. I just kind of dialed up an empty preset and went for it. I really like the way you can move stuff around essentially in the signal flow. It's not a grid style system like the Axe FX or, you know, the Helix or anything as advanced as that, but, you know, for what you're paying, I wouldn't expect that much. But for me, what I really like about this are the core amp sounds sound really good. Those clips were all with the built-in cabs. I think the built-in cabs are pretty decent. Personally, I would use this with some third-party IRs, either some that I would make or Ownhammer or other companies like that. However, when I went to do that, I had to install the new firmware, and then the editor wasn't working. So I don't know, that's a bug or something that Mooer is sorting out at the moment, but that was a bit frustrating, and so I couldn't load in my own IRs, and I think that's one thing that isn't the best about this. When you install new firmware, it wipes your IRs and stuff like that. So maybe that's some functionality Mooer could look into. But, you know, overall, what do I think of the GE200 in its price point? Pretty much unbeatable. The only thing I've heard that is pretty close, and it is a bit more expensive, is the atomic amplifier. I think overall the amplifier amp models are probably a little bit more realistic and accurate. And but this thing, you know, it sounds pretty good. Like, this would be awesome in a gig bag as a backup, which is what I would use it for. And I think, you know, you can get these for under like 400 Australian dollars now on eBay and stuff like that. So that's pretty attractive, considering one of their micro preamps is about $100. If you're looking for a little practice rig, I reckon it'd be pretty good as well, because you've got the aux in, you've got headphones, it can double up as a USB audio interface. You can do, like, you can cut your DI sound or a sound without cab sim on there. So yeah, there's a lot of cool features in there. I obviously didn't show you guys any of the wah sounds or any of the volume sounds, but you can attach this expression pedal to any parameter that you like. I think they call it morph or something like that. So there's a lot of features in there that I just haven't had the time to explore yet. But for bass tones, for the price point, what do I think of the Mooer GE200? It's pretty good. You should probably check one out if you're running a high-end modeler and you need a cheap backup rig. If you want to get into digital modeling on the cheap, this is also a pretty good solution. If you just need a little practice rig with a drum machine, you know, the drum machine sounds aren't the best things in the world. I don't know, I would probably look at like a laptop with VSTs, because most people have a laptop or an iPad anyway. If you just need something purely to practice on, maybe look at those. So, as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's the GE200. Thank you so much for watching my demo. As always, hit the subscribe button and the little bell, and I will see you guys around next time.